Hi everyone, I'm Amanda Soper and this is my final portfolio for PE 557B for Cindy Jarvis in Fall 1 2017. For my introductory statements and locations, my first internship I did at Chaminade College Preparatory High School, which is in West Hills, California. It is a private Catholic high school, and there I was the assistant varsity and junior varsity girls volleyball coach. And the second internship fieldwork opportunity that I had was with the Los Angeles Clippers. I worked in the group events department as their game night staff and is located in downtown Los Angeles. For my SWOT analysis, I'm going to start with the strengths. First off, the strengths with Chaminade College Preparatory High School. I learned to have better communication skills with the parents, the players, and with my fellow coaches through weekly emails. I was able to avoid communication barriers through this communication train through emails, text messages, and phone calls. It allowed me to make sure that everyone was on the same page on my team, and so there was no issues of players not sharing information with their parents. And for the team skill wise, I had a much better volleyball team than I had in past volleyball coaching experiences. As a result, I was able to really take my volleyball knowledge and give it to them, and able to utilize drills that I had, and able to take drills that the head coach Scott had given me. He had given me a notebook of drills throughout his 30 years of coaching, and they targeted certain skills, different aspects of the game to work on, and it categorized drills into how many players that you had that day. So I was able to work with the appropriate numbers. So that was awesome to work with. And for the LA Clippers, some strengths that I gained for myself was I was able to really work off the strengths like found in the Strength Finder. I was able to utilize my time management skills, be more of a leader, and stand out amongst my coworkers, and worked with a lot of groups. And I enjoy working with youth groups and giving others an experience that they'll remember. And so by minimizing chaos and taking charge and organizing large groups, I was able to maintain composure in stressful situations. And the biggest strength of all was working with a professional sports team is my dream. And so seeing how the franchise works, how the sales team works, how the logos change, and how each aspect of it comes together was really one of the best. So with my SWOT analysis for weaknesses, at Chaminade College Preparatory High School, some of the weaknesses that I had to deal with was parent-player drama. So I had an issue on my junior varsity team where there was animosity between two players who were competing for the same position, and as a result, their parents were becoming negative and talking, poorly about their other's daughter, and it became an issue where I had to talk to the daughters separately, and then to the parents separately, and then talk to the parent and the player of one family, and then talk to the other family separately, and basically discuss with them that we are trying to build a culture. We're not trying to have negativity or animosity, and that we're trying to build this family-oriented environment. We're trying to change the culture from past seasons because their coach didn't care if there was negativity or that there was issues within the team, and we want it to be an environment that people want to be a part of the volleyball program. And so with that being said, we didn't have to have a further meeting of all of the people involved, which was good, so that was avoided. And as a result, the culture it's going to change. It's going to take time, and it's going to take trial and error, but for the most part, they read into the parent-player handbook that we handed out that they never had to deal with before, and listen to our rules and expectations that we had for the team and the program. For the LA Clippers, weaknesses that they definitely had was their lack of office space. So the Clippers office is very close to Staples Center, which is great when walking to work. However, this space is just one floor and a lot of desks. And so when there are promotions, and it's all over the place, and it's taking over people's desks, and it's taking over, you could definitely tell it's a very cramped environment, on top of it being stressful because people are trying to get their job done, and that people are trying to get it done well, on top of on the phone all the time, and there's a lot of stuff happening in a small, close vicinity. So I definitely think that's a weakness of the Clippers, that if they had more space, that they'd be able to work more efficiently. And another weakness would be that they receive really low salaries. There's such a high turnover rate and such a great demand for jobs in sport. For the SWOT analysis opportunities, at Chaminade College Preparatory High School, I gained a lot of opportunities in my coaching experience. I was able to gain more from my coaching portfolio, able to be more prepared, and offer more for my teams for the future. And I even was offered to teams during the club season, which really showed that I took a lot from my season with Chaminade, that I was able to utilize skills, drills, and experience. And I've really branched out and I'm able to coach kids at different age levels, different volleyball levels. And after having a few conversations with parents, I learned really like the networking aspect from Chaminade. One of the parents on my club team was asking, what am I doing? And I explained to them how I'm finishing my master's program, hoping to work in professional sports. As a result, they emailed a friend who worked for the LA Clippers, who gave me a call and helped me set up an interview for the part-time position in the group events department that I worked for. So there's definitely many opportunities and for the students because of the parents' support and the boosters' support. And in return, they were able to give me different opportunities. As for the Los Angeles Clippers, the different opportunities that the Clippers gain is being a winning team. In the past few seasons, they now have better known players. The franchise is a growing business, and each season they gain more publicity. They continue to prosper, and they have faithful and loyal fans who have been with them when they weren't very successful and they weren't very good. And so there's a growing fan base there. Having to be in Staples Center, there's definitely a popularity aspect in that. And during the week, and especially on the weekends, it's typically full depending on who they're playing, but there's always some sort of event. There's always a giveaway at the door, whether it's a lunchbox or a piggy bank or a stuffed basketball, and there's always an appreciation night. We've had multiple appreciation nights in the season so far, and it's only halfway over, so they definitely gain more attendance that way. For the SWOT analysis of threats for Chaminade, some of the external threats that they face in the volleyball program is the culture of the parents and the players. The success of the volleyball program is more than just the skills that each athlete possesses. They have to make sure that they uphold the expectations and that they are encouraging the incoming freshmen so that the program can continue to flourish each year. Another external threat is that the football, is the same season as volleyball, and that football is their huge revenue maker. As a result, there is a lot of alumni in the booster program from Chaminade that they put a lot of money in, but most of the money for the athletic department goes to the football stadium and the team because of the football's popularity. So if volleyball is not wary of using the funds properly, if us as coaches don't use the funds properly, then volleyball's funds could diminish, and we have to compete with football even more. For the Clippers, the biggest threat that they have externally is that they really have no control over is the success of the team, the availability of Staples, and the popularity of the Lakers. These reasons that these are external threats is because if their team is not successful, then people aren't going to want to come and watch them lose, and it can greatly affect the franchise of the Clippers if they're not winning or they don't have good players with a strong fan base. And if Staples, for whatever reason, decides to end their contract or vice versa, there's that issue then of, Staples has a lot around it, and it's already a franchise name in itself, playing out of Staples Center. So that would be an issue because the facility is popular. And going hand in hand with that, if the Lakers are successful or are more successful than the Clippers, then it's hard to compete because Staples Center is considered home of the Lakers since that was their facility first. And so if the Lakers are more successful, then the Clippers are going to have to compete with spectators to get tickets and to come to the games versus if they're successful, then it just kind of sells itself. How have my values, faith, and beliefs helped me with these two internships? Firstly, family. I'm very family oriented and I have been taught to be hardworking, motivated, to have integrity, and to treat everyone with respect. And with that being said, I've definitely translated that into my internship experiences. I was able to deal with a lot of different personalities and able to work well with different people, with my athletes, with my players, with my coworkers, with the Clippers, with fans who would come to a different game every time. And I was able to stay motivated about what's my end goal and, treating everyone with respect, even if they are not treating you with respect, because that can go a long way. Secondly, having balance. I was able to balance multiple tasks with both these internships simultaneously, with practices, games, doing office work, the Clippers games, and doing my schoolwork successfully. I learned how to deal with multiple different personalities and adjust quickly and react appropriately. And lastly, remaining humble. Especially after being connected with the Clippers position, I felt completely grateful for the networking opportunity that Chaminade Volleyball had given me through the parents just, asking, what do I do and what do I want to do, and that helping me out. And so, remaining grateful and treating those with respect because you never know which opportunity can come from that, and you never know who will actually want to help you. Lastly, my integration of strengths. From the Strength Finder, my 5 strengths are achiever, relator, discipline, arranger, and belief. I was able to utilize these strengths in my internship. One, as an achiever, because the drive to constantly be productive and put forth effort in my work is an internal motivation in my life. That once I feel satisfied when I have achieved something tangible, and that I want to accomplish the next task and get it done, especially with to-do lists or just drive and determination that I have. Secondly, a relator. As I pull towards familiar people, I don't shy away from getting to know new people, which was definitely beneficial in both of these internships. Gaining new relationships and friendships, and I was able to build relationships with my athletes, more importantly, getting to know them as people, not just volleyball players, and helping the team bond and having them know that I was there for them. And with the Clippers, I dealt with a lot of different people and I built connections, and I wanted to encourage people that they can rely on me and trust in me when we're at work. Third, discipline. Discipline was one of my strongest talents, and although it could be predictable because I want things to be orderly and planned, I would try not to procrastinate, which goes with my time management, that I really work on getting things done when I need to, on deadlines, and that I understand that there's routines, and that I continue to make routines for myself even when things get crazy or I have too much on my plate for that day. Instead of just winging it, it avoids chaos and it brings more consistency. Fourth, arranger. An arranger is more known of as a conductor, where they manage different variables of life, and that best can be done by managing and arranging pre-event setups and being organized and flexible. And I truly believe that working in these two internships, that I had to be flexible because you never know what the kids are going to do or what's going to happen that day. On the Clippers, there's always a new scenario, a new situation that you have to deal with. So you have to be able to be on your toes and to solve problems, search for new paths, and bring about new options and new connections. And lastly, my strength of belief. I do have core values that I mentioned earlier, and they help me with a sense of mission and purpose. And although values vary from one person to the next, I hold those close to me tight, in that I am loyal to close family and friends, and that these strengths of mine, they give my life meaning and satisfaction. And it's not for the reward of money or prestige, but it's more the direction and guide and how am I affecting others. That's why I love coaching, because each day I have an impact on somebody else, and that I had to be consistent, and as a result, I'm able to help them become better people. And, from all of this, I was able to gain an experience that has been my dream and able to open that door up for me. So, really, my five strengths have helped me and will continue to help me push through life. Thank you.